Today, we're diving into one of the most important parts of storytelling: character development. Whether you're writing fantasy, sci fi, or heartfelt drama, strong characters are what keep your readers hooked. In this video, we'll break down how to develop deep, relatable characters that will stay with your readers long after they finish your book. Let's get started. So, what exactly is character development? It's the process of creating characters that feel real, people with emotions, flaws, goals, and unique histories. Great characters are complex and evolve over time, just like real people. They don't stay static throughout your story. Instead, they grow, learn, and change based on the events that happen around them. Character development is about more than just listing personality traits. It's about digging into their motivations, creating a compelling backstory, and letting them struggle with flaws. When done well, your readers will form deep emotional connections with your characters, whether they love them, hate them, or just relate to them. Every great character starts with a backstory. This is where you explore what happened to your character before the events of the novel. Their past shapes who they are today, their decisions, and how they react to challenges they face. Think of your character's backstory as their foundation. It gives depth to their actions and explains why they are the way they are. Maybe your character has a fear of abandonment because they lost someone important to them as a child. Or maybe they're driven by revenge because they were wronged in the past. For example, in Harry Potter, Harry's childhood as an orphan who lived with neglectful relatives directly impacts his personality and decisions. His sense of loneliness and desire for belonging drive many of his actions throughout the series. Even if you don't include every detail of a character's backstory in your novel, knowing it will help you write them more consistently and give them depth. Next up, goals and motivations. Every character should want something, and there should be a clear reason driving their desire. Goals give your character purpose and push the story forward. Without a goal, your character and your story can feel aimless. For example, in The Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen's initial goal is to survive the games and protect her sister Prim. But as the series progresses, her goals evolve, and she becomes a symbol of rebellion. What makes her character so compelling isn't just what she wants, but why she wants it. Her motivations are rooted in love for her family and a desire for justice, which makes her actions feel relatable and meaningful. When developing your character's goals, ask yourself, what does your character want? Is it something personal, like love or acceptance? Or is it something external, like winning a battle or solving a mystery? And most importantly, why do they want it? Motivations rooted in personal stakes, fear, or deep seated beliefs will make your character more dynamic and relatable. No one is perfect, not in real life, and not in fiction. A character without flaws can feel unrealistic, flat, or even boring. Flaws are what make them human. They create conflict and internal struggle, which makes for a more engaging and relatable story. Let's take a look at Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. One of her most obvious flaws is her quickness to judge others. This flaw not only causes conflict with Mr. Darcy, but also leads to her misunderstanding his true nature. It's Elizabeth's growth in overcoming this flaw that makes her journey satisfying and realistic. A flaw can be anything: a fear, a personality quirk, or even a virtue taken too far. For instance, a character who is fiercely protective might stifle about those they care about, leading to conflict. Flaws help your characters grow, and they give readers something to relate to. After all, no one is perfect, and characters who struggle with their imperfections feel more like real people. One of the most powerful ways to make your characters memorable is to give them a character arc. A character arc is the journey of growth and change that your character goes through during the story. Characters should evolve based on the events they experience and the challenges they face. Take The Lion King as an example. At the beginning, Simba is carefree and naive, running from his responsibilities. But after experiencing the loss of his father, betrayal from his uncle, and then self-discovery, he eventually embraces his role as king. His transformation is what makes his story so impactful. Now, not all arcs have to be positive. Characters can even experience a downfall or become morally corrupt, like Walter White in Breaking Bad. Whether your character's arc is about growth or decline, make sure they are affected by the events around them. Watching your character grow or fall makes the story feel meaningful and keeps readers invested. One of the most common pieces of writing advice is show and don't tell. And it's especially important when developing characters. Instead of telling your readers that your character is brave or kind, show it through their actions and decisions that they make. So instead of saying John was brave, you could show John rushing into a burning building to save someone. This allows the reader to see John's bravery in action and make their own judgment, which feels more organic and powerful. Showing rather than telling gives your readers a deeper understanding of who your characters are, and it allows them to form their own connection with the character. The key is to let your characters' actions, dialogue, and reactions reveal their personality rather than just listing their traits. Characters don't exist in isolation. The relationships they build with others shape their personality and decisions, and these interactions are key to developing character depth. Look at the dynamic between Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Sherlock is brilliant but emotionally distant. Watson, on the other hand, is more grounded and compassionate. Together, their personalities complement each other, and their relationship reveals new facets of each character. It's through their partnership that we see Sherlock's hidden humanity and Watson's quiet strength. Relationships, whether they're friendships, romantic connections, or rivalries, are a great way to reveal aspects of how your characters act. How does your protagonist act when they're with their best friend versus their enemy? These interactions can reveal a lot about their values, insecurities, and desires. Finally, let's talk about dialogue. The way your characters speak says a lot about who they are. Dialogue is one of the most powerful tools for revealing personality, background, and even hidden motivations. Think about Tyrion Lannister in the Game of Thrones. His sharp, witty dialogue tells us that he's intelligent, quick on his feet, and often uses humor to mask deeper pain. His dialogue reveals layers of his character without directly telling the reader what he's thinking. When writing dialogue, pay attention to word choice, tone, and rhythm. Does your character speak formally or casually? Do they use sarcasm or speak with sincerity? How do they react when they're under pressure? Dialogue should feel natural and reflect the character's personality, and it's a great way to show who they are without lengthy descriptions. So, there you have it. Strong character development is all about creating characters with depth, goals, flaws, and relationships that make them feel real. Remember, the more you know about your character, the more your reader will connect with them. Whether you're just starting to develop your characters or fine-tuning them in later drafts, keep in mind these tips to help bring them to life on the page. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you have any favorite tips for developing characters. And as always, keep on writing.